Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Alex from AM Marketing.
Hi everyone. So my name's Alex and I'm going to talk to you today about Local PPC. So a bit more about me. I'm a digital manager at AM Marketing. A lot of you have probably heard of us. We're a digital marketing agency based in Canterbury and we are Google partners. My personal specialisms are in Google Ads and we worked with a lot of different companies, some really big, some small and local. And for those local ones, we do use a lot of local PPC to help them build their businesses. So I thought I'd share a bit of that with you today. So my talk is going to be about local PPC. Firstly, I'm going to talk about why local PPC in particular, and some of the changes that we've seen in terms of search behaviour over the last couple of years. And then I'm going to talk to you more specifically about local search ads and then about Google Map ads, and then we'll open to questions which I'll hopefully be able to answer for you. So what is local PPC? So local PPC essentially is a paid advertising strategy that targets a specific area to increase brand awareness and consideration locally. So the main objective of it is basically to target people within a business's radius and physically drive them either to your business or get them to inquire. But why local PPC in particular, you ask? So I'm sure that a lot of you have dabbled in Google Ads and are probably using Google Ads today. But I'm going to talk to you about why local PPC in particular is different and why you should be using it. Right, so according to Google, over 20% of searches are actually for local products, services or places. Now that's a pretty big percentage, especially when you consider that on average there's around 63,000 Google searches made every second. So 20% of that is pretty large. So that's just for local searches, so it's really a good idea to sort of capitalise on that itself. And we've been seeing, I'm sure you've all been seeing that the rise of mobile is just growing and growing. And we're actually, as an agency, now seeing more search queries from mobile devices than desktops. So 82% of people that use smartphones use their phones when they're looking for local businesses. So it's really important that you're actually visible for these searches. So yeah, local PPC is a pretty big deal. Okay, so now I'm going to talk more specifically about Google search ads locally. So hands up please, who's ever made a search on their phones that's included near me on the end? Yay, okay, yeah, you're all part of the statistic. Okay, so there's actually been a 500% growth over 2 years of people searching near me, which is just proving that the rise of mobile searches is just growing and growing. And actually over 90% of people have admitted that they would click on the first section of Google search results. So yeah, it's important that you can then utilise that with PPC. So I'm just going to talk through some key benefits of actually using local PPC itself. So number one is to be seen first. It's the same with most PPC campaigns. But by using local PPC, your business can be shown in Google's top positions and become the first port of call for your service area. Then number two is to get ahead of the competition. So some of your competitors might actually be ranking better than you organically already, and you can actually get ahead of them by advertising locally. And if they are already advertising, then you can also overlay their service areas as well, just to make sure that you're seen in the same space and you're not getting missed out. And then number three is to get to local customers who are ready to buy now. So you can do that simply by targeting keywords that indicate an urgency to purchase. So for example, the near me sort of searches and local and where to buy. And then number four is branch your business into other areas. So by using local PPC, you can actually select the areas where you're advertising in locally and branch into neighbouring areas where you may not already be ranking for organically, and also generally build your brand awareness in these areas. And if there might be a gap in the market somewhere, you can get yourself seen there too. So I've spoken a little bit about the benefits, but what do local PPC ads actually look like? So here's a couple of examples of companies that are already using local PPC. I don't know if you can read that, but it says Plumbers Canterbury, which I've searched for. As you can see, both of the ads are in top position, and they're actually above the Google Map results and organic results. So this is just a screenshot from my PC. You can't even see the organic results yet. So by using local PPC, you're really going to be there and present. And if we go back again to the 90% of people that say they click on the first section of search results, there you go. Pretty important. They're probably going to check these out before anyone else. Another thing to consider when setting up local ads is the ad copy itself. So it's really important to make sure that your ad copy is super relevant to the search queries. So make your ad copy as relevant as possible, and you can do that by using location-specific terms. So I've searched for Plumber Canterbury. Both of the ads in the first section of the headline have either Canterbury Plumbing or Plumber from Canterbury. It makes it more likely for the ad to be clicked because it's the most relevant ad to them. And it also, by adding these sorts of terms, it will up your quality score and ultimately lower your cost per click, and it all works out better if you do that. Right, so number 3 is about using ad extensions. So it's important to use ad extensions in every PPC ad that you do, but there are 3 in particular for local PPC that we at AM Marketing always use, and they are location, call, and reviews. So location extensions, pretty much what they say on the tin, it will tell the person the address of your business. And if the person is using a mobile, it'll actually tell you how far away you are from that business itself. Then call extensions, again, does what it says on the tin. If somebody's using a mobile device, then they can click to call you straight away without even visiting your website. It's really good for if you're trying to gather leads. But it also shows that you're more available as a company to be contacted. And then reviews. Another really important one. If you can see in the top results, somebody is using reviews there. People are said to be 90% more likely to contact a company if they are showing like real life reviews. I don't know about you, but if I'm planning on going out for dinner and I'm planning a nice event, then I'll be looking around and checking which is the best restaurant. But by putting that in your ad straight away, even when people are researching, you can see that they are a reputable company. So it's really, really beneficial to include reviews in your ads. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how you actually set up local search ads. Okay, so there's a few keywords here as an example. And keywords really are the bones of any ad account. So there's a few examples here. So all are sort of the near me, where to buy, local, in Kent. So they're all location-based searches. So the keywords can be as specific as you like when you're setting up an ad account, but they always should, in local PPC, show that there's either an intent to buy, install, or inquire with your business, and also show that the customer is looking in a specific area. So they're really the key keywords that you need to be focusing on. But equally, if I use health shops near me as an example, you can use just simply health shop as a keyword because likely a lot of people are searching for that. But you just need to make sure that you're still geographically targeting a specific location and you have your location in your ad, just so it kind of gives you a heads up, like a step up on some of the bigger giants, because if somebody sees that there's a local business near them and is what they're looking for, they may be more likely to come and visit you. Right, so you've selected what sort of keywords you want to put in your campaigns, and now you're about to upload them. So this is something that I do when I'm setting up local PPC campaigns, and I always separate out keywords into 2 different categories, into 2 campaigns. So I will create 2 versions of the same campaign. And so you can see that number 1 is hotels in Ashford, and campaign number 2 is hotels near me. So number 1 can actually target the whole of the UK because it has that location-specific keyword in it. So it'd be relevant to anybody that's searching nationwide because they're obviously researching to book a hotel in Ashford. Whereas number 2 is actually more generic, which means you would have to geographically target a specific area so that the ad's definitely relevant to them. So why else do we do this? So number one is that it actually allows you to set different budgets per campaign. So whether your focus is on growing your business more locally, or it may be nationally, or it may be a certain key town or city, you can actually assign more budget to one or the other campaign so that you're getting more results from that. Number two is it allows you to target more locations. So a campaign with location-specific keywords can be active across the UK, as a keyword obviously indicates that they're searching for that area. And number three is that you can then create ads that are tailored to different locations and audiences. By that I mean, so the way that you communicate your brand may be different in London, so you may communicate your brand differently to different towns than you may do locally. So you can actually tailor your ad copy based on which location you're targeting. Okay, so once you've got all of your keywords in, your campaigns are up and running, they're all going swimmingly well, you can then run location reports. And that will then be able to show you where your services are actually in the most demand. So you can see the behaviours of different locations and identify areas for growth. So you may, for example, be running a campaign that's sort of like a 10-mile radius of your business location, and within that 10 miles there might be 4 or 5 towns. You can actually pull the report and see which towns are the most popular, how many people are searching for your type of business in those areas. And then you can also do things like running, like what gender are they, what age are they, all those sorts of things as well, and it can help you develop your overall marketing strategy. Okay, and then the final thing is, please, if you are running local PPC, make your landing pages relevant. And they have to be customised for the correct location. So going back to my example of hotels in Ashford, if I was searching for a hotel in Ashford and then I landed on a page that was, I don't know, hotels in Swansea, I probably wouldn't be too pleased about that. And the likelihood of somebody then trying to find the correct page, you kind of like put yourself on the back foot. So we always say to create unique pages based on which location you're targeting. And then overall it's good for your ongoing sort of SEO strategy as well if you are targeting and servicing those locations, because you'll then be able to start ranking organically for that too. Okay, I'm going to touch now on Google Map ads. So Google Maps are basically becoming a search engine in themselves. So over 1 billion people are using them to find directions and local businesses. And this may look familiar to you, and that's because it is. So once you've set up your local PPC campaigns, and it's all set up correctly with the correct extensions, etc., you can actually even be eligible to run on Google Maps as well. So your results on Google Maps will be triggered by the same keywords, as long as they have a location in them or they're showing an intent that somebody's looking for something locally. But to be able to run Google Map ads, you basically have to have connected a Google My Business account to your ad account and then set up location extensions within your PPC campaign. And then it will just pull through your Google My Business profile to Google Maps and advertise on there too. And Google Maps is great for mobile users because people are generally on the go when they're searching on Google Maps. So say, oh, I need to find a petrol station, you type in on Google Maps rather than searching Google itself. So it's really important to be on the two. So here are a few more benefits. So benefit number 1 is appear across the Google network. So that would obviously include the Google Maps app and also Google Maps results and desktop results on mobile. And then number 2 is to catch customers while they're on the go. So when people are searching while they're on the go, they've kind of got a lot more intent in actually walking into that store, and you're really catching people at the decision process, at the stage of the decision process. And then number 3 is Google Map ads actually link to your Google My Business profile, which is really great because customers can see location information. They can also get directions and make phone calls. They can see your reviews and your photos and visit your website if they wish. So they can really get a full-rounded, all of the information for your business. And on the left here is an example of a Google Maps ad that I've triggered. So So that was obviously quite a brief overview of Google search ads and Google Map ads in Local PPC. I hope it was helpful, and I'm open to answer any questions if anyone has any. Thank you very much.